All right, Bart, enlighten me. Once again, I'm hanging out here on Channel 18 with Bart Lone with the Grand Lake Wine and Spirits, and these guys have a lot of good Colorado craft beers as well as liquor. So today we're trying a little bit of, what do we do? I think we're doing the 10th Mountain.
Right, this is a 10th Mountain. It's from Weier. It's a 10th Mountain bourbon. Just started carrying it in the store 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so this is brand new to you?
Mm-hmm, it is, yeah. And before living in Kentucky, I didn't know bourbon, there are legal requirements for something to actually be called bourbon.
To be called bourbon?
Right.
What does that entail?
A specific percentage minimum of corn, aging in oak barrels, new oak barrels, and for a certain number of years, which I don't remember right now.
Can you make bourbon outside of Bourbon County?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they have a specific way to make the whiskey that makes it a bourbon.
It's actually legally specified.
So is this considered a bourbon?
Mm-hmm. It is.
So this is a 10th Mountain bourbon whiskey from Weier, Colorado.
Right.
That's incredible.
And I had a distributor brought it in, and having lived in Kentucky, my favorite is still always Maker's Mark.
You're a Maker's Mark guy.
When I tasted this, it reminded me of
Drip a little wax on that thing, you know.
That's right.
Well, cheers to you, Bart. Let's have it. I'm not going to slam it. I'm just going to sip it if
No.
that's all right. It's pretty early for me in whiskey.
Right. But it's nice and smooth.
Oh,
it's got
that's
a little
not bad at all.
sweetness to it.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
What was the 10th Mountain?
10th Mountain, it comes from off of the 10th Mountain Division, the Army's 10th Mountain Division.
Yeah.
So.
And the 10th Mountain Division is big around here because they used to do a lot of training right in our county here, which is incredible.
Springs,
They're the hardcore guys, weren't they?
They were winter operations.
Yeah, so they'd actually incorporate skiing and all that into their traveling.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Touring and stuff is how they got around back in the day. That's incredible. Well, that's really delicious, man.
Yeah, it's good.
I might, if you don't mind, we're going to dump a little of that bottle in my coffee cup here.
Sure. Sounds good to me.
We'll make this a bourbon coffee one. All right, so that was the 10th Mountain, and I highly recommend that if you're a bourbon person. That's Colorado bourbon. I didn't know there was such a thing. I thought I figured we were talking bourbon. We're going to go back to Kentucky. So.
Yeah, they have this. You know, bourbon doesn't. It's not a region. It's a way of producing.
That's incredible. So, okay. Well, what'd you pour me that's clear, Bart?
Well, we've got this Rock. It's a distillery in Boulder.
I'm going to be pretty buzzed up by the time I get out of this show today, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
This is their gin. It's produced in Boulder.
This is gin. Okay, so I'm getting ready for my pine trees here.
Exactly, but it's not as deep of a profile of juniper as most gins.
Okay,
are.
so it's going to have a little.
It's a little bit less.
More of a hint of it as opposed to a blast in the face.
It's got a little bit more of a complexity to the profile, in my.
That ain't bad. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm drinking a lot of TNTs and a lot of gin and tonics with well. So like my taste of gin is pretty low end, unfortunately. This is actually delicious.
It is good.
It's really good.
Yeah. And they brought this, and then I've got it's a Rosta. It's a coffee liqueur.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, right here. I'll spin that around so we can get it on camera.
And that's actually it's a coffee infused vodka that they do. And
so it's a vodka base with coffee. Okay,
yeah.
So a little different than your Kahlua. It looks like it's a little thinner.
It's not as syrupy. It's not as sweet as a Kahlua.
Which I kind of like, to be honest. Kahlua gets to be a little too sugary for me. I'm pretty straightforward on my boozes.
It's made with cane sugar, so it's a little bit thinner than that. And
how do you pronounce that?
Rock.
Oh, that's the backwards R. R-O-K. Gotcha. Rock.
R-H-O-K,
gotcha.
Yeah.
I didn't know if this was going to be a international pronunciation.
No.
And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to yak with Bart a little bit about cigars. Mm-hmm. You are the cigar distribution in Grand Lake right now.
That's what the word is.
If you're out snowmobiling, I'm gonna get this little stumpy cigar here, and we're gonna take off to break. Once again, hanging out with Bart Lone with the Grand Lake Wine and Spirits, and we're talking booze, beer, and cigars. So we'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. All right.
That's great. Yeah.